Hi everybody, Chris Bradley with your Wednesday morning Weather Geek Report. The weather today actually is pretty calm, so I'm going to be focusing on tomorrow. A cold front coming through and the risk for severe weather once again. Here's the setup. It's going to be a pretty strong cold front. A lot of wind whipped into the atmosphere here. The front will come through late in the day, sometime around sunset. So that's your window for severe weather between, let's say, 6 and maybe midnight. We walk you through it here. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Notice the storm starting to break out right over the Columbus area and points east according to the latest WRF computer model. So this area right here, you see these little lowly storms kind of by themselves. Those are the ones we have to watch out for because they can quickly become rotating storms. And those are the ones that can oftentimes produce the damaging hail and tornadoes. The straight line storms are the ones that usually produce the wind. So that's what we'll watch out for. That's 7. And you see here they're now moving their way across eastern and southeastern Ohio and should pretty much exit the area sometime between 9 and 10 or 11 o'clock. So again, it's that window right around dinner time, shortly thereafter on Thursday. Check back in with us, though, because we're going to fine-tune this as it gets a little bit closer. So let's talk about why I'm worried about severe weather. Well, a couple things. One, the temperature coming up into the 80s. I've been calling for a high Thursday of around 80 degrees. Well, this computer model is showing it may actually be a degree or two warmer. 81, 82 is not out of the question. And we're also going to be dealing with higher levels of humidity. And in meteorology, we measure that with the dew point. And the dew point, showing the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, is very high. Now, it's going to be up around or over 70 in this area right here, just east of Columbus. And this is the area, again, where I think we have the greatest likelihood of seeing severe weather. So a couple things to look at as far as severe weather indexes. One is the CAPE. What we're looking at here is the amount of available energy in the atmosphere, so the convective available potential energy. Remember, we talk about this, if it's over 1,500 joules per kilogram, that's kind of our cutoff for severe weather. Well, look here, we're looking at some purple here on the map, so we're getting very high. We could be looking at somewhere between 3 and maybe 5,000 joules per kilogram. So a lot of energy to work with as far as the atmosphere goes. Now, here's a couple of other things I want to point out. This is the supercell parameter index. Again, pretty high, and again, focused in this area here. So right now, it would look like this part of central, south central, and east central Ohio would have the greatest likelihood for seeing damaging winds, and as I'm going to show you, even the threat for some tornadoes. Another thing we look at is what's called the lifted index. So the lifted index, when it drops down negative, we have the threat for thunderstorms. When it gets under, let's say, 5 to minus 10, we have the risk for even stronger storms. And it's very, very low here in this area here, from down across Kentucky into West Virginia and into southern and southeast Ohio. In fact, it's as low as, hard to believe, it's already down to 10 to almost minus 12. So it just gives you kind of an idea of where that is. And finally, I want to show you one more severe weather parameter. And what we're looking at here, this is taking into account different elevations of winds. All right. And what you want to look at here are the gap. So are the winds coming from different directions? And if they are, you're going to see the winds kind of rotating around here at different levels of the atmosphere. And all of a sudden, that's how you run into a situation where you could have some rotation. And again, it's in this general area here, east of Columbus, where we have the greatest likelihood for that occurring. So this is the area we're concerned about. And again, it's early to say. We'll say tornadoes are possible. I think we're also going to be looking at some other severe weather variables, including damaging winds and even large hail. So this is all on Thursday. It should clear out on Friday. Saturday may bring a few rain showers and cooler weather. So a lot to keep you updated on. Check in with me tonight on 10 TV News at 5, 5:30, 6, and 11. And look for the next Weather Geek Report by 4 p.m.